A new Tennessee law aimed at restricting what SNAP recipients can buy is now facing a legal federal judge, a legal fight, I should say. A federal judge has blocked efforts to limit what SNAP recipients can actually buy. Earlier this year, state and federal lawmakers in more than 20 states, including Tennessee, decided that SNAP benefits could not be used to buy things like soda, energy drinks, candy, dessert. Now a federal judge has temporarily blocked the Trump administration from allowing states to enact that legislation. We'll continue to follow.